Hello and welcome to Asheville's virtual Peace March and Rally. Thank you to the Martin Luther King Jr. Association of Asheville and Buncombe County for inviting me to speak. I am proud to represent the city of Asheville at this annual gathering. As we continue to adapt to an ongoing pandemic, I'm thankful this tradition has been able to continue virtually during these last couple of years. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now." In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. This is no time for apathy or complacency. This is a time for vigorous, positive action. Dr. King's message was a call to action for equity and racial justice. This year, our city continued to make steps forward, repairing the harm caused by decades of discrimination and systemic racism. In June, the community came together for an information sharing and truth-telling speaker series as part of the city's process to deliver reparations for Black Asheville. We heard from local and national panelists on past policies, present trends, and disparities and future initiatives. Members of the community also shared their stories and perspectives, creating a stimulating dialogue about what changes are needed in the city of Asheville. This was only the first step. In the spirit of Dr. King's message, I now call on the community to get involved and be part of the Reparations Commission process. This commission will address disparities in the Black community and present recommendations to City Council that advance strategies towards repairing the damage done by public and private systemic racism. I encourage all residents to use this commission as a voice and tool as we work toward Dr. King's goal of racial justice and social change. Thank you to the MLK Association and all those who have made this event possible this year. I'll now read a proclamation for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. devoted his life to confronting the injustices of systemic racism, discrimination, and segregation. And whereas Dr. King inspired millions of Americans to participate in peaceful demonstrations to promote justice, equality, and freedom for all races and cultures. And whereas the influential teachings of Dr. King continue to guide us in addressing challenges within our communities and across the nation. And whereas the celebration of Dr. King's birthday is a time to remember our nation's pivotal civil rights leader and reflect on his principles of nonviolent change, social change. And whereas Dr. King was the recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize and his activism resulted in the passing and signing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And whereas the Congress and the President of the United States, the North Carolina General Assembly, and the Asheville City Council have established a holiday on the anniversary of Dr. King's birth to be celebrated on the third Monday of January as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And now, therefore, I, Esther Manheimer, Mayor of the City of Asheville, do hereby proclaim January 17th, 2022 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the City of Asheville and urge all citizens of Asheville to join in the observance of this occasion with appropriate ceremonies and activities. Thank you.